Yes, which was pretty awesome. Some of them were
Off the top of my head, compared.
You are now listening to the Voices of Dubai.
You're listening
Watching The Voices of Dubai with Joe Hage.
This is the Voices of Dubai.
Mohamed, Yousef, thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome, Joe.
We have recorded so many sessions throughout the years together.
That's right.
Since 2015 and up until now. And it was either sessions that you casted my voice for, or I casted your voice for, or I recorded for you. It's been a really fruitful relationship, and I'm so grateful to have you here on the show.
Same here. I remember that perfectly, and it was enjoyable moments with you, Joe. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you for hosting me.
Of course, of course. The show would not be complete without you on it. And there are several reasons for that. Throughout your career, which I want to go deeper in, you have recorded for so many brands, not only international and global brands, but also brands in the U.A.E, and we're talking government entities as well, which we'll be exploring more in detail. First, Mohamed, I'd like to, if you can present your career throughout the years, just for our viewers and listeners to have some kind of background about you.
Yeah, I started my career in Dubai TV a long time ago. I don't want to say the year, but it's a very long time ago, before 2000. So I started in Dubai Radio as a presenter, newsreader, and then I continued in Dubai TV. And Dubai TV is like too many stations there. We call it DMI, Dubai Media Incorporated. So we have Dubai TV, Dubai One, Dubai Sport Channel, Noor Dubai, and we have radios and too many stations, radio and TV stations, and also some magazines and newspapers.
Nice.
So I'm settled in Noor Dubai channel.
Okay.
As a presenter and voiceover.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so you first started as a radio presenter and then moved to TV, correct?
That's right, yes.
Awesome.
Yes. And I started as a newsreader, and then I presented some programs, and now voiceover.
Nice.
Yeah.
And do you do voiceovers for Noor Dubai?
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
So I imagine this must come with some sort of agreement to use your voice exclusively, or how does that work?
They give me this flexibility, so I could do some voiceovers outside of the station, but it's not with appearance, only voice. So I'm basically a presenter there. So I have to show, and I have some shows. But nowadays, because they transfer to radio, they make the radio and the channel, TV channel, together in one idara. Yeah, under one management.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So anything is coming to radio, they broadcast it on TV.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
So I can do some voiceovers here and there, no problem, but not for another competitor,
Yeah, yeah.
Like I cannot be a voiceover for another channels or another radio station, but I can do some advertisements or these things. Yeah,
That's interesting, because one of our guests, Milton, was here, and he's the voice of Dubai One, so he does all the commercials for Dubai One.
Yeah.
And in his contract, he's not able to do any commercial work outside. So he can only do very specific types of jobs.
Maybe because he has a contract with them for this issue. Yeah, maybe. And Milton, he was working with us not as a sound engineer before. Yeah, but now I think he has his own company, and he's like a part-time dealer with the channel, so they put some construction about that, and you can take it or leave it.
Sure, sure. And I'm curious, Mohammed, before starting your career in radio and then in TV, could you tell us more about your education before that, before you entered this media world?
Yeah, my education was in somewhere far from media, but I was interested in media since I was a student in maybe primary or middle school. I was like a presenter in radio school in a school, yeah. But when I finished my secondary and went to the university, I studied something related with the petrol, geologic, and chemistry, and like that, you know. And I finished with the degree. I have a geochemia, we call it in Arabic, geology and chemistry. So I was thinking that I will be an engineer in a petroleum company, and I will do a lot of such things. But it didn't happen.
Nice. But was that something that your family was pushing you to do?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
People around me, and they said, keep media as a hobby, you know. And I was. Everybody in school and teachers, when they looking at me presenting and giving speeches and such things in school radio, you know, long time ago, to maybe 30 years ago, I don't know now how is the schools, but before you go to the classes, you have to gather in schoolyard all students, and there will be some programs on school radio, students giving some segments and these things, you know. So when I was looking at those people, they doing some shows and like that, I said, I can do better than them. Yeah, and the teacher, he gave me a chance. So I prepared something like to read on front of all students and like that. Usually when anybody talking on school radio, so people or students, they are not giving any attention. Yeah, they're talking and whatever and like that. But I prepared something very nice, and I heard it from someone else on a cassette. Before there was no
CD,
you know, a cassette.
Yeah.
It's before CD.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah. I had the Walkman with the cassette recorder.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
We're getting old.
Like that one. Yeah. And one guy, he was telling a poem, something like that, in a very nice way, and he catch my attention. So I wrote it and tried to do it the same as he's doing. And I presented on school radio. So when I started, people were talking and like that, and suddenly all giving me attention because the way of I'm saying and like that. And after I finished, شو تصفيق, claps, and like that.
Applause, a round of applause.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. And also my teacher came, my God, you are so perfect.
Wow.
Yeah. It was from the first time. Why it was like that? Because I prepared it, you know. So, and after that, every time I'm coming on school radio and like that, so my teacher says, "You will be a very great speaker."
Amazing.
In the future.
Amazing. How old were you at that time when you first presented?
I think I was 14 years old, maybe.
Wow.
14, 15 years old. Yeah.
And do you think that after that experience, your passion for media and presenting was solidified?
Yeah, that's what happened exactly. Because after I finished the university also, in the university I practiced such things as well. So these things I was doing all the time. Before wasn't there a payment for that, but you know, it's like a hobby, and you would love to do that all the
Sure.
time, you know. And people also inviting you to give some shows and presenting something and like that. And always it was reading. I wasn't, you know, talking without papers. Always I have to read something.
Sure.
So in this show, I don't know if I'm doing well or not, but usually I don't know how to talk without script.
Well, being here and having already this this segment of this discussion without any scripts is proof enough that throughout the years your experience has
Especially
helped
it's
you.
not my not in Arabic, in English. It's a bit difficult for me, but I hope that people will understand me.
Of course, and I appreciate you putting yourself in that challenge and meeting with me today.
It is amazing. Thank you very much, because you know, it's also a good opportunity to have a new audience, and people know my career, know me. It's good.
Absolutely.
Good, yeah.
Absolutely. And I can relate where you are now because, you know, throughout the years, the thing is, I studied in a French school. Okay, so Arabic was my third language, even though I speak Arabic at home with my parents and we speak in the Lebanese dialect.
That's right, yes.
So Al-Arabi al-Fusha, the classical Arabic, which requires a lot of practice in grammar and
This
everything,
is true, yeah.
I wasn't paying attention in class.
Okay.
So throughout the years, I lost touch with the Arabic language.
Yeah.
Thankfully, when I started my voiceover career almost 10 years ago now, I started more and more investing in learning Arabic and learning how to tashkil, how to pronounce certain
This
letters.
is very important, yeah.
And you helped me so much with that throughout the years, and you still help me now.
My pleasure. You know, what make you are different than the others and make you better than them, it is grammar and, you know, tashkil and the you know, so you don't need someone to support you in that. So this is giving a value for you. You have a good voice, you have a good pronunciation maybe, and performance. So these small details making you in a better stage.
Sure.
But what happened in after I finished the university, I went not to a petroleum company to looking for a job. I went to TV.
Wow.
They said, "Come on, your degree is very far from media. Why you want to be in TV?" I said, I love to be a presenter and like that. They said, "We cannot accept you because of your degree."
Wow, really?
Yeah.
But did you have cassettes of previous recordings you had done at the school to show them the training you kind of got?
No, unfortunately, you know, to archive these things, that time it wasn't very
accessible, right?
Yeah. So we just doing things and not نسجل and
yeah, not like
archive.
not archiving them and like taking notes of them, putting them organized
Exactly,
way.
yeah. So I left them for a couple of months, but I was contacting people in TV if they have some courses in Dubai TV. When I say Dubai TV, I mean radio and Dubai TV.
Okay.
They are the same company.
DMI, you're saying, yeah?
DMI,
Okay.
yeah. But DMI, this is a new name. When I was there, it was something else. It's like they call it Dubai Media, but not DMI. It belongs to Dubai government. You know?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dubai Media Department or something. I don't remember. So they said, okay, we have next week one course for presenters, and if you would like, you can join that. When I joined that course held on Dubai TV, I take it seriously, and it was a very long course. Maybe it took 8 months of training. Yeah, they trained us how to be to read, how to grammar, a lot of things. And I took all these things very seriously, and I studied every day, and I become very good in that. So, and also my teachers there, I remember that Mr. Salah Awais and Suhair Al-Harthi, they are already presenter since Sawt Al-Arab radio, if you have heard. It was in Egypt since the past President Jamal Abdel Nasser era, you know.
Okay.
And they came to Dubai as big stars that time. So they trained us, and also one of them called Abdul Wahab Qattaya, he was in Abu Dhabi radio, and he also trained me. So those people and a lot of other Arabic presenters, very big stars and golden voices that time in this area. And he told me, Salah Awais, also, he told me the same teacher when he told me that you will be one of the greatest speakers in the region. He says also, you will be the greatest voice in this region if you continued doing these things seriously, take it seriously. Yeah, and all these things encouraged me to do more and more. And then the TV came to me and they said, we want you to be one of our staff. Yeah.
Amazing. So that was once you finished the training, they approached you again?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. And how did they know that you took the course? Someone said to someone else?
The course, it was held by Dubai TV.
Okay.
It was held by them, and my teacher highly recommended me for the management, and they hired me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So I'm curious, Mohamed. We learned about your first non-official voiceover. What was your first official voiceover project ever?
Yeah, it was after I become like a presenter in Dubai TV. I visited some production company. I don't want to say their name. Maybe they are not exist anymore, but I think they are exist, but with a different management. And I was planning to do a program through them for Dubai TV. And one of the production or something like he's doing for radio commercial productions or something like that, you know, like what you have you was doing for the Mango Jam.
Yeah. So a producer, an audio producer.
Audio producer, yeah. He came to me and he says, "Are you Emirati guy?" Yes. He says, "We don't have Emirati guy voiceover. Can you do like da'aya spots for radio station for these things?" I said, "Yes, I love that." Because I wasn't doing that, but I really love that.
Yeah.
And can we do a demo? I said, "Of course." And I did the demo, and he liked it very much. And since then, you know, it was only one guy from Emirat doing maybe this kind of voiceovers. And I was the second, maybe I'm not sure, but and he wasn't very good in that time. So I became like a star for these things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, awesome. And do you remember the year that that happened?
Yeah, it was in 1998, maybe 1997.
I was still at school.
Yeah.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
So would you say that from that moment, did you see your career as a professional voiceover actor start to increase and go up as well?
Yes. Yes. That was the moment.
Nice.
And the guy's name is Anwar. I remember him. He's Pakistani, but he was the audio manager or what? Audio producer.
Audio producer, yeah.
That one.
Nice. And I'm curious. So since then, that was your first.
And he was the accountant as well. He wasn't
really?
paying very good, by the way.
Ah, I see. So rates at the time were not that that
It
good.
was good, but for that time it was good, but difficult to being paid. Yeah, it's with most of companies. That's why my policy now is different a little bit. So
Sure.
payment must be in advance.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, with some, unfortunately, with some studios, I personally learned that the hard way as well.
Yeah.
Depend on the studio, I ask for money upfront. Because that's the way it just happened throughout the years. But with most studios here, you know, and I'm talking like Mango Jam, for example, MNK, I always get paid on time. You know, I don't even need to think about it or to remind them.
That's right.
Which is awesome, you know. It's rare to find people like that.
Yes.
My personal policy is to pay within a week to make sure I don't forget to pay.
Yeah, because we voiceovers, we don't have a company to follow up about the payments and these things. So, and we don't have ability to hire a company to looking for us that payments and these things. So it's better to have it in advance, and you don't need to follow up all the time because you have work to do.
Yeah.
You are recording and concentrating on something, not on payments. So and this small amount, you know, not a very big amount, so they can afford it easily. You know?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. So I'm curious. I'd like to go back a little bit. So we were talking about your education, geochemistry, and then getting that amazing opportunity with the Dubai media, and then getting introduced to the world of voiceovers. Can you tell us how your career moved throughout the years from that point until now? How did that evolve?
It moved smoothly, and you know, these things always starting from the young age. You cannot say that it will help later. I will go. I saw Joe and I want to be like him suddenly, because Joe, he started very early. I believe that you started music and sound issues
Very early, yeah.
very early. That's why you are distinguished, you know, you are superior. Otherwise, you will be normal like the others. So if you want to be something different than the others and better than them, you have to start it very early. I don't say that it's difficult to learn it, but you will not be the number one if you didn't start it early. This could be in your this is the talent. When we say the voiceover, he has to have a talent, language, culture, or like personality, performance. These elements are very important to have it. So the talent will never have it in 20 or 30 years old. It should start very early.
Sure.
I believe that, but nothing impossible. You know, you can learn later if you would love to learn how to do the voiceover and these things. But it's better if you have it long time ago.
Sure. Yeah. And then
going back to your question, so when I was studying, as I told you, geochemistry. So when I go to the television, I said, what about doing something related to my work as well, to have a major in these things. So I took a lot of courses and things, and I studied also master in diplomacy studies. It was in London, the University of Westminster for 2 years, and I had that master in diplomacy, and it helped because it's something like between diplomacy and politic. And politic was my career almost, because I was a news reader in Dubai TV. And news all is politic. This is helping how to understand politics, how to understand how to deal with your guests sometimes. And also I studied something, maybe also you have experience about it, which calls NLP.
Yes, neuro-linguistic programming.
Yeah. So this is also helping voiceovers and presenters very much, especially who has a program like your program, how to deal with me. If you studied NLP, you can know if I am saying the truth or telling something.
Sure.
You know, one of nice things they told me, if your guest, you know, يعني ضيفك في الحلقة, your guest in the episode, if you ask him a question and, for example, his eyes gone up and right, that means he tried to remember something.
Yes.
But if it's go up and left, that means he is trying to
create.
Yeah.
Yes. You know? Yeah.
And this is a very nice thing, you know. It's good to know these things. How to lead him. If he is very calm and you want to make him more
enthusiastic, yeah.
So you have to go in his level and try to go up and up and up, and he will move with you. Even the way he's sitting, the way he's talking, you can guide him and lead him after that. All these things in NLP, it's amazing. It changed a lot in me in that time.
I bet.
And also I did, because I read a lot of books in NLP, and I recommend, if you are interested,
please,
there is a book called Awaken the Giant Within.
From Tony Robbins.
And Tony Robbins.
I love that book.
Amazing,
I love that book.
I like it very much. And based on this book, I did some CDs, and it was published for. It was a long time ago, but still it is available in the market, you know.
In Arabic?
In Arabic, yeah.
Amazing, nice. So you translated the work yourself and you recorded it, or?
No, I took a lot of courses about NLP and these things, but this book is the major information in this book. I put it in that production,
Nice.
I called it كن متميزا وانطلق.
Amazing.
Be distinguished and
launch your career.
Your career. Yeah.
Awesome.
This is my education in general and how it affected my career. Now sometimes people says, why you didn't change? You didn't promote to another level. Why always you are presenter and voiceover? I say, why I change? I am enjoying that. Why I want to be like a manager or whatever? Yeah, the best thing after you be presenter, to be a president. But it's impossible. I cannot be a president. So I'm happy to be a presenter, you know. This is the issue,
And I'm curious, we were talking about NLP and education, and by the way, everything you mentioned about your education so far, I can personally relate to. And what I mean by that is, I also went to study as an industrial engineer. So I studied in Canada, in Montreal, as an industrial engineer. I got my degree. And because, like for most Lebanese families, it's, you become a doctor or you become a lawyer or a dentist or an engineer.
Yeah, that's right.
So I chose engineering, and I graduated from that program. But as you mentioned earlier, I've been playing music since the age of 8 years old. And I knew deep down, even while doing my program, music and audio was my passion. So
Exactly,
I kept playing music even while studying. I played with multiple bands in Canada. And as soon as I finished engineering, there was a school I was working at as an admissions counselor. So imagine people are interested in joining the school. I would tell them what the program is about, etc. And that school was called Recording Arts Canada.
Okay.
It taught people how to record, to use the software, to edit, to...
Nice. Yeah.
And what's funny is that you can say it's like a gift from the universe or from God, you know. At the end of my university degree, I was working there for 9 months at Recording Arts Canada. The manager called me in, and he's like, "Thank you so much for your work. We love your enthusiasm. We can no longer pay you, unfortunately. But we want to give you a 25% discount on our program, sound and music recording, because we really believe that, you know, you'd be a great fit for this program." So it was great for me because I immediately enrolled in the program.
And this is very important for voiceovers.
Absolutely. Because I understand the back end things of it as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
The recording, the editing, the mixing,
Exactly. Yeah.
microphone techniques.
And nowadays, I'm doing my recordings at home, and I provide my performance and voices online, you know. So when I have my system at home and my studio at home, I don't need another sound engineer or something, because I know all of these things. So voiceover must know nowadays how to record, how to clean, how to use the microphone and such things. And it became like a toys, you know. It's not very difficult nowadays. I don't have to do a big studio and big equipment and these things. It's only small
That's true.
equipments.
That's
yeah.
true. And actually, it's interesting you say that, because we both seen a change in the industry, right? Like before 2020, we used to go physically to studios most of the time to record in their booth with, you'd have clients, you'd have agency people, you'd have the producer, the sound engineer.
Yeah.
After COVID, we've seen a big shift in the industry, whereas most clients prefer to get online, you know, in a live directed session
Yes,
over Google
yes,
Meets,
yes.
Zoom. And how have you adapted to these? Obviously, then, apart from having your own studio, was it something easy for you to adapt to?
It was ready for me a long time ago, because I'm doing that before Corona, you know.
Okay.
When it came, it was opportunity for all studios that already I have my studio at home, and it was easy for me to adapt it and contact studios. And my work wasn't affected with Corona, by the way. So yeah, I don't know about yourself, but I think most voiceovers who has already the studio at home, they didn't affected with this situation.
Yeah, I actually got more jobs during and after Corona.
Exactly.
Because of the fact that I had a booth in my apartment and everything. And
Yes, exactly. Yeah, this is helping, and it's very important nowadays for voiceovers. Yeah.
and how did you learn that? How did you get that knowledge?
It was a passion. It was a passion long time ago. I started maybe at the same time when I started voiceover. You know? I wanted to know about microphones. I wanted to know about the softwares, and I prefer that I have my equipment at home, so I could do a lot of things. And when I told you that I did that CDs, كن متميزا وانطلق, I prepared it, I wrote it, and I recorded, and I edited it,
Nice.
and I directed it, and I produced it with another production company. But when you have all these things, you can't do it by yourself. The cost will be minimum cost, and you need to be to do some efforts by yourself. So we will not have, afraid that you didn't pay the producer, you didn't pay the director, you didn't pay. So everything you will do it. So let's see. And I started with Adobe.
Audacity? What's it called? Audacity?
Not Audacity, no. It's Adobe. Now they call it Adobe Audition.
Audition, yeah.
Adobe. But it was before, they call it Cool Edit Pro.
Okay.
Yeah, they call it Cool Edit Pro. I remember that. And they upgraded all the time and every time until today they become a very big company, Adobe Audition with Adobe Premiere, Adobe After Effects and this thing. It's not less than Pro Tools or other softwares. It's a very good software and dependable, very dependable.
Awesome. And I'm curious, going back a little bit, so throughout your career, were there any particular mentors that you looked up to in terms of how they presented, how they pronounced things?
Yeah, there are many, but my teachers, I depend on them very much, as I mentioned, Salah Hawais, Suhair Al-Harthi, Abdul Wahab Qattaya, and some other stuff. They are working with us in Dubai and Radio TV, Radio TV Dubai. And I sometimes I hear some voices on, for example, إذاعة London, London radio, the Arabic one, BBC they call it.
Yes.
But Sarhan, one guy, his name Sarhan, he's passed away anyways, but he's coming on BBC, Hona London, like that. And we were doing the same like him, like that. So I hear and I try to do something like those people.
So imitate these voices.
Imitate these voices, until I became like my own way in presenting. Because when you are in some stage, خلاص, you will become like a unique way. So. After I did some voiceovers here and there, too many Emirati people, they try to imitate me, to يقلدني يعني. So and I know one of TV managers in the U.A.E. He's telling me when I went to the institute there, this TV station, to work, I was doing the same what you are doing, the same voice and like that. And when the manager heard my voice, he says, "Oh my God, you are the same like Mohamed Yousef.
Nice.
Come." And he hired me immediately.
Wow.
I said, "Okay, this is good. Now you are the manager. So give me some chances in your company."
Yeah.
Says all the company is yours, no problem.
Nice.
Yeah. So these things, when you hear it, I feel good. I feel happy.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course. You find out that you were able to help someone without you even knowing, right? That person looked up to you and.
Yes, and it become like a way to. For people to take it, when some people try to يقلد stars, So if people coming and يقلدون me, you can translate it later.
Sure, imitate, yeah, of course.
Okay, so this is amazing. I feel very happy when I see something like that, and alhamdulillah, يعني. I assume that I become one of the most important voices, local voices in Emirates. So too many local companies depending, especially when it becomes something about Emirati accent. Even sometimes they need Emirati English accent. They calling me for doing these things, and I remember that. for example, Etisalat, you know
Yeah,
Etisalat,
of
is
course.
a very big company here in Dubai. And when they started the IVR system, they try to find all the voiceovers who are the best in Dubai and the UAE. So they selected 4 people only, 2 male and 2 female. 1 male for Arabic and 1 male for English, and 1 female for Arabic and 1 female for English. I was the male for Arabic.
Nice.
I've been selected. So, and I read more than maybe 500 pages
Wow.
of numbers and constructions and these things, you know, for IVR. I said, I think that is all. I read everything. But after a few years, I think the management is changed or something like that, you know. And when you change the management in a department, you shouldn't forget that you have these recordings, and especially for IVR, you don't have to change all the time.
Sure,
you know?
sure.
So they bring something for free here and something like that, and it become like strange. A little bit my voice, and then the other voice, and different voices in one call system.
Sure.
It was not for example, now just imagine that Siri, when you are calling Siri and asking her questions, different voices answering you.
Yeah.
It's not good, you know.
And it's so interesting that you bring that point up, because I remember we were talking about it briefly, you and I. This is part of the company's branding, right? When you use a voice, it's part of the branding. So I can totally relate to what you're saying, in the sense that if you like change multiple voices or use multiple voices for one same brand, then in a sense, in a way, you're losing that brand identity.
Exactly. And not also only this one. Also sometimes, you know, maybe I go today and I'm happy, so I delivered happy way in delivering, okay? And you invited me for another recording for the same brand, and you wanted me to continue recording. But that day I wasn't very happy, and I delivered in another way. You have to know the way you want. So it should be in the same way all the time. So
Absolutely.
when you connect it together, it will come like normal.
Fluid and consistent.
Exactly. Yeah. The problem I heard in some airports, the announcer, when she is talking, okay, she's talking sometimes high level, sometimes deeper, sometimes like that. It's very annoying.
It's not consistent levels.
It's not, not consistent level. So you have to make sure that everything will come in at same level, the same way. So it will be fluent and consistent.
Consistent, yes.
Consistent. That's it.
Absolutely. And a simple way that we both know how to do that is to simply take the track that was previously recorded and play it back for the talent.
So he will continue. Yeah.
Exactly. For them to remember the tone that they used.
And they don't want to do that effort. I don't know why. This is affecting your brand very much.
Absolutely.
You are a big company, like, I don't want to mention names, but Etisalat, airports, and those things. You have to be very careful when you are recording for IVRs. And I did a lot of IVRs. Maybe, alhamdulillah, I think all Abu Dhabi government IVRs is by my voice now. All departments.
And both you and I, we've worked on many projects for Dubai government as well, where your voice was used for Arabic.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. I become like one of the most important voiceovers
Absolutely.
in the U.A.E.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And can you tell us about a specifically challenging session, a challenging recording session, or a difficult experience for you throughout your career?
You know, I started as a news reader in Dubai TV. And I was sitting with some friends, and he showed me, he's a director. His name is Mustafa. He showed me a project. He says, see, when you are talking in microphone, this cartoon moving his mouth. It was a cat or something like that. I said, oh, this is interesting. And it was the same time, after a couple of months, will be Dubai Festival, Summer Dubai Festival. And that was in 2001.
Wow.
You know Mudhish?
Yes.
Character Mudhish? I remember that last year was a Mudhish, and this year will be a Mudhish as well. I think Mudhish character started in 2000, year 2000. So I said, can we replace the cat to Mudhish? He says, yes, of course, we can do that. I say, okay, give me this project.
Awesome.
I will bring a job for you. He says, go ahead. And I took that project to our manager in program manager in Dubai TV. And I showed him I could do that and that and that only in one condition. What is the condition, Mohamed? I want to be the presenter to do that character. You know?
Nice.
Yeah. So I was the first guy doing the Mudhish character. And it was like a revolution that time, you know. Live session on TV and Mudhish talking to all kids and مسابقات Mudhish was and Mudhish asking questions and kids answering and also there were some sponsors giving money and gifts for winners and like that. It was very nice.
Wow.
Yeah, and also the director told me you have to sing as well. I said, oh, it's a big challenge for me to sing. But well, I sang and the song was very popular that time.
Nice.
All kids, they loved it.
And how long did the Mudhish project last?
It was 30 or, yeah, it was started with 30 episodes and then they extended another 30 in the same summer, 30 or 15 more episodes because everybody loved it and we, yeah. And the years later, I think because this event it's held by Dubai Economic Department, not by TV. So they preferred that Economic Department they managing these things.
Sure.
You know, the problem was that some people, not too many, some people they didn't accept that newsreader, he's doing the Mudhish character.
There were two very different types of deliveries, right?
Exactly, yeah. So, and I love, voiceovers, they love always doing some other characters, and especially when it's something about dubbing and cartoon and role in some animations. This is amazing. We love to do that, you know. I think you love to do that.
Yes.
All voiceover, they love to do that. And I did a lot of animation characters. But, it was like companies competing each other. They loved the idea, and it became like first time we created, but other companies, they develop it and do it better than the way we are doing. We did it in 2 dimensions, they doing in 3 dimensions. And, so if you are not developing your idea, other people will take advantage of it.
Sure. I want to get back to something. So you were talking about kids, presenting for kids. And I remember throughout the years, we've also worked with your kids. We've recorded your kids in many ads, English, Arabic. We've recorded with Shahd, with Mayed, with Hamdan. And it's amazing because, for instance, I remember the first time I met Hamdan for a recording. And the last time we recorded with Hamdan, which was what, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
It was like just amazing to see the change of voice, because the first time we
Yes,
recorded, he was 8, something like that.
think,
And now how old is Hamdan?
14.
Amazing. So
Yeah.
I'm curious, have you taught this to your kids, or have they first expressed an interest in learning what you do, and then you kind of taught it to
I
them?
taught them, and I tried to bring them in this. It's like a business, and it's nice. And I heard their voices. They are so good. And Hamdan and Shahad voices are very nice, and they can do that easily, especially if it is in English. They are superb in English.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hamdan, honestly, he really amazes me, because I've seen multiple sessions with Hamdan, and we were there at the studio physically.
Yeah.
So I've seen him act a script as well. He's very good at acting it, not just reading a line. He's very good at embodying the type of delivery a script needs and delivering it in multiple different ways.
Yeah, I am lucky that they are so good in that. It was hard time with them sometimes, but in general, they are doing very nice.
Yeah. What were the challenges that you faced with them, teaching them?
Hamdan, he loved the microphone and cameras since he is a kid. But only the challenge when you want it in a specific way, you have to treat the kids in also a specific way.
Sure.
He could understand. So I faced a problem with if I wanted in a specific way, not in his way. But after time and time, he become understanding. If I just telling him I needed softly, giving me softly, happier, he giving me happier, louder, more enthusiasm, and he's easily giving you whatever you ask him. You just tell him what I want, he will do it the same way. So this is this variety and flexibility in performance. This is very nice. You will need it in voiceovers, and especially that they are still kids and they are doing this perfectly. This is amazing.
Absolutely. It's such a... You were talking about having an extra value, and this, I believe personally, it's one of them, having that flexibility, like you say, and also learning how to take direction. And that is a skill. It's a skill to learn.
Yes.
Instead of repeating the line in the same tone multiple times, to be able to take direction.
He can give it to you as you wish, and he understanding immediately after. This is amazing. Yeah.
That's great. Mohamed, you've recorded for some of the biggest brands across the globe and in the UAE. And just to name a few, or else we'll be here for hours stating the list of clients. PepsiCo, Deliveroo, brands like Amazon as well, Etisalat, the Ministry of Health, Abu Dhabi government. What was your experience in recording for so many different sessions? What did you learn after recording for so many different clients?
These things makes me happy, really. And hundreds other brands I did. They are not, when someone selecting your voice and he's a very big company and brand, this is amazing. You will, of course, feel happy, and it will be in your record. Just imagine 30 years I am doing this job, around 30 years, and every day I have a script. So this is tarakumi. When you are doing every day, and your voice will become like a very important voice after, because you are doing it every day. It's like, Sujjad al-Irani.
A Persian rug?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, older you become and more precious.
I see.
So your voice will be much better, you know.
Nice.
Yeah. It's like I'm practicing my voice all the time. So it become يعني مطلوب أكثر.
More in demand.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So this is very nice. Yeah, I am. Everybody will be happy if they were in my situation.
For sure, for sure. And I'm curious, do you remember a line from a script that you could deliver for us right now? Anything?
Yeah, we can say, for example, for اتصالات, one of my friends, he says, you are the voice of اتصالات, give it, and it's expand very much. مرحبا بكم في اتصالات للاستمرار باللغة العربية اضغط 1.
To continue in English, press 2.
Yeah. For example, this is very famous. It was a long time in اتصالات IVR when you're calling, this voice coming to you. So people remember that voice. And they don't know whose voice is that. So when they know that Mohamed Yousef is doing this, they will be amazed. Of course, yeah.
It must be rewarding as well for yourself. You know, if you ever call Etisalat and you hear your own voice, it's must feel good as well.
Of course, of course. And you know, I was doing some مقلب for my friends sometimes and calling them مرحبا هذه خدمة اتصالات للاستمرار باللغة العربية اضغط 1. And I hear toot.
They actually pressed.
They pressed it, and I playing with them.
Yeah.
Like فاتورة حسابك 15,000 I'm doing this 600 درهم 50 فلسا. He's saying, what?
That's amazing. Your bill is 15,000 dirhams.
Yes, you know, they, and I continue, for example, I say, للاستمرار والتحدث إلى خدمة العملاء اضغط 1. I hear toot. I say, نعم تفضل. شو فاتورة, my فاتورة is 15,000. Why? What is that? I say, you didn't recognize me? It's me. I say, oh my God, you are whatever, and like that, you stopped my heart, and you are...
You scared me to death.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's some funny situations happening with these things.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, Mohamed, with all your years of experience at Dubai Radio, Dubai TV, all the voiceover sessions you've done throughout your career until today, if someone were to come up to you, someone who's really passionate and interested in joining the voiceover industry, what would be 3 pieces of advice or 3 truths that you've learned about the industry?
There are too many, Joe, but I think most important is 2, availability for the voiceover and flexibility. You know, when you are doing voiceover, companies and people, when trying to reach you, it should be very easy to reach you. So you are available and you give them some flexibility in timing, in performance sometimes, and these things. When you are available and flexible, people would love to contact you all the time. Even you have very great voices, but you are not available all the time, or you are not flexible in doing such things. They will not contact you again. I think this is important for voiceovers.
Yeah, I can completely agree with that. You know, as an audio producer myself, and as a voiceover actor, it's funny because when studios contact me for a session, I rarely try to move the time. I'm readily available. And I guess a part of that is the fact that I have my own studio, you know, my own booth, my own setup. that makes it easier to be
Very
more
much,
available.
yeah. Before, I need 2 hours between session and session because, I have to go to that studio and then I go to that other studio. But nowadays, 1 hour is enough because the session will take 1 hour and immediately you will go to another online session. So it's just like
A click.
Click, yeah.
Yeah. Mohamed, I'm curious, before we wrap up, I have 2 more questions for you.
Yes.
AI technology, it has really evolved throughout the years, and today it can literally clone any voice out there.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's very crazy, yeah.
What are your thoughts on all these developments, and how can voiceover actors, professional voiceover actors, continue to differentiate ourselves from these AI voices and continue providing value to our clients and making sure that people hire human instead of hiring robots?
Sooner or later, it will happen, and it happened already now. There is one Canadian, I think, Sweden company. They contacted me 2-3 years ago. Yeah, I think before Corona.
Wow.
Yeah, and I recorded with them a lot of Arabic phrases and letters and things for 1 month maybe. Every day I was online recording for them, and they taking from verses from Holy Quran, from Bible, from whatever, and names and a lot of things. Because they will take that recordings and so they convert the texts and the scripts to voice, speech, So in that case, you don't need a voiceover, especially if you need Mohamed Yousef. You just take that program and I think it's free or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
And they provide it for you. A voiceover, and I heard a lot of scripts and reports by my voice. I didn't do it.
Wow.
And sometimes it's a very bad reporting. It's a very, very bad reporting.
Bad in terms of delivery, or
not in delivery, in informations, and maybe you are doing something for. Bad things, robberies or whatever, or for fun or whatever, and they put my voice, and I didn't do that. So some people will imagine that I did that.
Yeah. Which can cause some ethical problems, no?
Exactly. Yeah. So, but people knows me very well. They will, and also it's not exactly a human voice. There is some cat and like that. It's coming. Not very normal, but in some point in future, they will do it very perfectly.
Yeah.
And there is no need any Joe or Mohamed anymore. They have that, and maybe they will bring all the voiceovers around the world and they put it in one program, whatever you want, female, male. 13 years old, 30 years old, 90 years old, whatever you need, just name it and put it.
Yeah.
You don't have to hire them anymore.
It's crazy. But I mean, call me optimist. In my mind, nothing will replace human creativity. For example, what I mean by that, let's say these AI voices, very fast, right? You feed them a text. In a couple of minutes, clicks, you get the voiceover recording done. Yeah. But that voice will not be able to modulate, put intonation on specific words, take direction from the client.
That's right.
So in that sense, I really believe that humans will be able to put themselves, separately from these AI voices. The fan al-ilqa, the art of presenting, it's not about what you are reading. It is unwritten elements. You have to feel the words, and give it
these unwritten elements in that script. So the way you are, maybe we have the same words, you have the same words, and I have the same words, you have it. But when you present it, when you read it, people will cry. But when I read it, people will laugh. It's the way you are reading.
Sure.
And this is the unwritten elements. I don't think that AI can do it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so true. My last question for you, Mohamed, is what is your definition of a great voiceover actor?
I don't have a definition, Joe, but too many voices are very great. You cannot say that this is the best one or this is the, because all of them, they have something very great in some ways. Yeah, for example, William Robbins. Have you heard about William Robbins?
No.
He's an actor and he's a very amazing actor. He passed away anyways. And he did, Genie, Aladdin Genie.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
He did the genie, the character for the genie?
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you see how he's doing that character? And he did one movie, I saw it, called Good Morning Vietnam.
Okay.
He was like a presenter in radio in Vietnam War, and he was really amazing. He's doing that like a real presenter, but in a way you cannot imagine that anybody can do that, you know? Good morning, Vietnam. Everybody, every morning they want to listen what he will do, and he did that like he is with you and you are with him in the same studio, and even it's in radio, but it's giving you something like that. You will go to another actor doing something, another kind of presenting, and he's amazing in that way, you are amazing in a specific way. So everybody has one great thing. You cannot say this is the best. Maybe he's the best in that way. He's that one the best in this way. And we have hundreds of ways to present. I believe that we cannot say that guy is the best.
I love that. I love that definition. Thank you, Mohamed. I want to take this time to acknowledge you for all the work that we've done together throughout the years, all the work that you've done as well, and coming here today, sharing your experience, sharing your insights and advice.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Joe.